Hey guys, Anthony, we've got a really important message here for you, and I suppose it could save you thousands. It could save you the inconvenience of a breakdown. It could save you a set of injectors. Now, we have told you about this before, but it's probably something we haven't been banging on about too much, but it is a really important message. So, fuel pipes basically is the topic. Fuel pipes. When to replace fuel pipes. The facts about fuel pipes. Torque settings, when you should replace them, and the precautions and the things that what we know about them, what we believe happens, and of course that recommendation from Toyota as well. A bit of reflection there, but I don't know if you can read that sitting there. We'll just leave that sitting there for a minute, and we'll have a little bit of other bonus info. I'll flip through some other important info there at the end that might be off topic, but we'll get the fuel pipe side of it done first. Okay, so firstly, let's mention it. It says right there, notice. That's a screenshot from the workshop manual, repair manual, whatever you want to call it. Okay, notice, in case of having the injector replaced, must replace injection pipe 2. Now, I made everybody aware of this many years ago. There was people out there, diesel specialists, diesel workshops, diesel fitters, Toyota dealers, you name it. As far as I know, most people were reusing fuel pipes, you know, from what we know, from the people we speak to, from the people replacing the injectors, from the stuff we read on the internet, so-called people that are meant to know with qualifications saying, oh, no, it's okay, you can reuse them, you know, save you a few bucks. Okay, well, that's one way to look at it. Love to save you a few bucks, but remember the saying, poor man pays twice. What does that say? Toyota are the engineers. You've invested in a Toyota, and if they make a recommendation to change it, I tend to think that there's probably a good reason for it. I don't know what their reason is, but I've got a whole heap of reasons, and we're going to run through them hopefully quickly. Shouldn't take too much longer. Let's be clear, Toyota said so. Now, here's a good set of fuel pipes, and when I say good, what do I mean? These are only about a year old. They were installed on a vehicle with a new set of injectors. So, you know, pretty clean, good condition, and they've been cleaned up. But what I want to point out is, you can see they've been cleaned because it's rubbed off through the corrosion through to the steel there. You can see the line of grit that went around there, and it's going to be consistent on all of them. You know, you can see same sort of thing there, this one. You know, you can see around here, this side's clean, right? If it looks like that, it's pretty good, but see all that grit around there, right? And of course, this one here, you can see it quite clearly as well. You know, it's a build up and you get the corrosion out there like that. And of course, it's all inside in the threads there too. And that's why we go on about, you can't just bend the fuel pipes back and drag the pipes here past the dirty cover and everything and not get contamination falling from here in the pipes, you know, all this stuff around here and the nozzle seals when you pull them out into the engine. It's just, the risk isn't even a little bit. It's just ridiculous. The risk is, if you take every care in the world and do every precaution you can, you'll be lucky if you don't contaminate injectors, okay? That's really what it is. And if you worked on these a lot, you'd be able to see that. If you've got one that's brand new, that's never been off-road and in any dust, sealed road only, hey, you've probably got a pretty good chance if you give it a good clean up and a lot of blowing at the right time with, you know, filtered, dry, compressed air and everything all at the right time, you've got a good chance you might not have, you probably won't have any issues, right? But in most cases, people like to go and play in the dust and the mud, and this is the sort of thing that happens. Now, this is not the problem, okay? What the problem is, okay, like that says there, my reasons for replacing the fuel pipe, and from what I've worked out or discovered, the reasons here could possibly be to do with leaks, okay? So this is one thing for sure. I've fitted a lot of fuel pipes, brand new ones. We've reused pipes a couple of times where they've been refitted onto the same injectors. So I'm going to give you my best recommendations on when you can reuse them and what you've got to do. And so basically, when the pipes are new, the ends here, right, this material, it's quite, how do I explain it? It's soft. I mean, it doesn't change, but it's soft and it's kind of almost pliable and it squashes when, excuse me, when you torque it down for the first time, you can feel it squash down and just mold to the shape of the the injector inlet. It's got like a tapered seat sort of thing, right? So it's almost like, you know, it's almost like a flare where you're joining a gas pipe or something like that. And anybody that's in aircon, gas, any of this sort of thing, you know, you got to do a good clean flare sort of thing, get it all right. And, you know, sometimes doing it up tight might solve the problem, squashing into the copper or whatever. But at the end of the day, These are probably not as soft as copper, but what I'm trying to say is I don't even know what material they are, to be honest. You know, I assume they're steel pipes, you know, we could get them back. I've never done any of that. I don't care. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is when you install it onto the common rail or the injector, as you're talking up, as it makes contact, you feel it make contact. And I would estimate, and I've never counted, I've said this in videos before, but I've never counted, I would estimate a good 180 degrees or more from where it makes contact and starts squashing to where it clicks off it. New fuel pipes, the torque setting is definitely 32 Newton meters. It's not 20 or 25 or anything else, it's 32. Okay, I wouldn't mind if you go a little bit over rather than under, but there's a certain, supposedly people that know diesel shop with a guide on the internet, if it hasn't changed, haven't checked lately, but for years and years it said 25 Newton meters. So if people were doing that and not having problems, that would kind of say that maybe you're not going to have an issue, but quite often people have problems and they don't know why, and they just put it down to, oh, those crappy Toyotas or those crap, whatever brand it is, oh, you know, they're just crap, they are. You know, it wouldn't be the procedure and the, you know, and the torque setting was wrong or something anyone did was wrong. It's always got to be the, oh yeah, they're crap, those things, you know. So definitely it takes a lot of squashing. Now, from reusing the pipes, we've done, I suppose we'll call it a lot of R and, again, not D, we're not developing anything, it's research and R and S today, it's research and sharing. Okay, so the second time you torque down these fuel pipes, I would estimate from where it makes contact and it starts squashing again, it does feel a lot firmer straight away. You notice on the torque wrench on the handle, you notice it, you can feel it's firmer straight away, but I would estimate it goes about 90 degrees. So probably around about half what it did the first time, which is okay. We've never had an issue using new pipes, never had a leak. Guys, we had plenty of people contact us and cars come in on tow trucks from other workshops that have reused pipes, and it doesn't necessarily leak straight away. It can happen years down the track when you're out on a trip. We know people that it's happened out on trips with us where Toyota, I'll say it, a Toyota dealer replaced the injectors under warranty after they refused to, but then, you know, we provided the diagnostic information. He got, you know, as a service to the client, he got them replaced under warranty. They didn't do the fuel pipes, right? Then, you know, that's another story. Again, we're trying to keep it short, but it's all important information that backs up the information. Okay, so fuel leaks, and it leaked straight away. He went back. It leaked again. He went back, and then 2 years later, he's on a trip, leaked again. You know how we solved it in the end? We just redid the whole job and we put new pipes on, and he'll never have a problem. And neither will the new owner, because he's since sold that vehicle and moved on to another brand. So happy motoring. Everybody loves their new vehicles. But like he did last time, I believe he'll miss his Prado, as everybody does. When you know, I don't know if you've people that have got other cars, and if you don't drive your Prado and you drive another car for a while, you just can't wait to get back in your Prado. But anyway, I'm not trying to sell you Prados. Am I meant to be talking about fuel pipes? So third time use, it's kind of like, you guessed it, around about half that again. It doesn't go too far. You can feel the material at the end of these pipes here, right? This taper and this material, it must really compact down. Again, I've said it before, I'm not a metallurgist or a bloody engineer on steel or anything like this. People know more than me about it, but I can just tell you from use and experience what happens. The third time, you feel it straight away, you feel it firm, and it doesn't go far, maybe 45 degrees. Again, I haven't measured it, I could be wrong. I'm just going back from my many memories going, yeah, that's about right. And it's quite cool to refit fuel pipes. I'll tell you why, because instead of being awkward trying to, oh yeah, and then reposition and go again and reposition and turn the crowsfoot around and reposition, this one's a fun, you know, every car's different, depends what's in the way. It's just, you put it on, third time, and you go, click, and you're there, right? So that's the good side. The bad side is you go, ooh, those pipes must have been hard. There wasn't much movement in those, and there's a lot of vibration in diesels, okay? And with all that vibrating, you know, the whole time, and not having a nice soft seat, whatever. So I would absolutely guarantee 3 times is the most you can reuse fuel pipes. Now I'm going to add more to it as well. That's on the same injector. And why do we say that? Because every seat, you know, the machining and the squashing, what we just talked about, when you've used it on that injector, you've squashed it on that one, squashed it on that one, squashed it on that one, put it on a different one, I don't know, good luck. Now, if you're using it, say, like I say, this is a good set of pipes, because they've only been used once, and I know they haven't been over torqued because I installed them. 32 Newton meters. I know that if they're reinstalled, I'm confident on another set of injectors even, prefer the same injectors, but even on another set of injectors, if you went to at least 35, and I say at least, some people think, oh, you can't go too much either, because once that material, and this is the whole point, how many times do you know they've been this material here, once it goes hard, and you're tightening it up to pull it tighter to stop that seal, but this material could be cracking and splitting the fuel pipes. They split from being over tightened, so it's a delicate balance. When you replace your injectors, you must replace your fuel pipes. That's what it says here, right? In case of having the injector replaced, must replace injector. So that's what it's about with the pipes. That's one of the reasons, okay? To avoid leaks. Now, what else can I say about that? Fourth time, it's rock hard. There's not much in it. I haven't done that. I'm not going to go there. I'm sure some people have. It all comes to luck. Toss a coin. When is it going to leak? How long before it's going to leak? For some people, it's not going to leak. You get lucky, right? Maybe they were really well torqued. Maybe the injectors were in exactly the same position, same injectors. I don't know why they'd be out 4 times. Now, when you count, I'll just go on to this before I go to other reasons. Counting how many times they've been used. Once is at manufacture. Once could be at 40,000 when Toyota check valve clearances. Depends if they took them off. Certainly this end, because they take them off and generally bend the pipes back. You know, probably get the helper there to hold them back while they take the cover off. We've seen plenty of photos and evidence of that, including in Toyota workshop. We've seen it with our own eyes after being promised that it's not going to happen. Apologies, of course. We've got photos. We've got Toyota guys that say, yep, that's how we're trained to do it. That's the time we've got. That's fine. I understand that. I'm not saying it's okay, but I understand that. That's cool. Hopefully things will change, because you can't get away with doing that. So what was my point? Counting. So first, second, so 80. If you passed 80,000 Ks and you're replacing your injectors or taking them out, if you're say at 120 or 150,000 Ks and you're taking your injectors out to, say you haven't got money to replace them and you're changing the seats anyway as prevention, okay, and you had a look and this all looked pretty clean, which I don't know how it can, because these are a year old and you can see these are good pipes, right? If you want to see bad ones, look at all our old previous posts and videos. I've probably showed them there, and we might show them again another time, but it gets a bit boring showing you the same stuff. We've got to come up with some new stuff, and I realise we haven't really talked that much in detail about fuel pipes and why and all the reasons, so that's why we're doing this. Shouldn't be much longer. So when you do your count, you know, anything over 100,000 Ks, if you're taking your injectors off, I'd be replacing the pipes anyway, in which case you're up for, look, retail price on pipes, they're about 130 bucks each. So, you know, I know they're rip-off little things, aren't they? That, yeah, 130, right? For depending what model and that sort of thing, but more or less, whatever high aces, 200 series, Prados, they vary a little bit in which model and that, but around about that. So budget about 100 bucks plus for your fuel pipes times 4. Now you don't need to replace the one from the pump to the common rail, because you're not removing it and refitting it. Just don't touch it. If you reuse that more than 3 times, or if you changed engines or something where the pump and the rail has been moved position, it's different. Of course, a brand new long motor comes with that 5th fuel pipe, so you don't need to worry about that. Anyway, that's counting, why you change them, how they leak because they're gone hard, that sort of thing. Now, as I said, I'll just quickly say it again, you could reuse a fairly new set of fuel pipes that have been used only once and torque correctly to 32 Newton meters on another set of injectors, in my opinion, okay? You could reuse them certainly on the same set of injectors, particularly if you've got the alignment right. If you've got the alignment right, it's going to be sitting in 99.9% same position, and it's still got enough squash there to make the seal, is my belief, and that's my current recommendation. If anything changes, I'll let you know. That's why you subscribe and have that bell on so you stay up to date. Now, another big issue, and we've already touched on it, and that is the contamination side of it, right? Another reason for replacing pipes. Do you want to pay me to stand around and try and clean all this up and blow it dry and hope that my air that's blowing through there is clean and dry and it's not leaving anything in there? Or do you want to just get new pipes? You're spending all that money on the job, the labour, the injectors. What's a few more bucks on some pipes? That's why I think this is not something you do every 6 months. It's not an oil filter. It's not an oil change. It's something most people on averages are going to do every 10 years. I'm not saying leave it 10 years. You know my recommendations. I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to recommend to let you know, if you need to contact me, please ask your questions online on our Facebook groups and stuff like that. Please search before you ask questions, because it's all included in our channels and pages. The information's there, like what we're doing now. Unfortunately, I haven't got time to take everybody's text messages and calls. Text messages, the calls don't happen, okay? The phone doesn't ring, it's text messages only. And that's to make your parts purchase. If you want to buy an injector kit or something like that, okay? So you know the other parts we can supply. Keep watching the videos, you'll get the hang of it. The other thing is, there was another diesel company, I won't name them because I don't know whether they can be trusted anyway, but they said they cut open, I don't know, at least 100 fuel pipes, right? You know, and they said they were eroding away on the inside. So there's a chance there's some truth to that. It makes sense. There's a lot of pressure, heat, hot, cold, and all that pushing as it goes around the bends, erosion. I believe it would be because I know about the wear on the internals and the injectors, so it could be happening here. And then do you want any of those debris and stuff going from your pipes into your injectors? So there's all these factors. We've said enough already. I don't think there's anybody that's watching that's going, oh yeah, no, it's fine to replace fuel pipes. And if anyone is, you just got to question their quality and how they like to cut corners. If they're prepared to cut corners on fuel pipes, what else are they cutting corners on? Okay. When people are comparing, a lot of people, this is the other thing with this video, just quickly, people comparing prices. You get what you pay for. If you're getting brand new, genuine Denso injectors and all the parts and seals and gaskets you need to replace and pipes, everything you need, right? And quality workmanship. The parts is half the job. It's a time-consuming job to do it right. It's going to be most expensive on the 150 Prados. It's going to be the cheapest on the early Hiluxes 0506. They're the easiest to work on. It's going to depend how you've got your vehicle set up, whether it's got stock standard at standard height on an 0506 Hilux. I'm going to do it for you the cheapest because that's easy to work on. You haven't put anything in the way. It's the easiest one to work on. I don't want to give you the good news. Get the vehicle in here because it's old. It could have blow-by and the injectors are stuck and that's going to offset that. That's what I mean. There's a whole lot of variables, okay? So you can't really give a fixed price unless you know the history of the vehicle. If you've got a lot of experience, you can go, well, I think it'll be that. So for us, we quote a price that, you know, on average is pretty well that's it. Of course, if the injectors are stuck or there's blow-by, it's extra, but most people that come to us are listening to the information. They don't have any of these problems. I haven't seen a vehicle with stuck injectors or blow-by in the workshop for bloody months, if not a year or longer, whatever. It seems to be a long time. Now, I did promise at the end we'll have a look at some other important photos here. Let's see what's here, because it is just a bit of a information tip here. So here's one. Completely off topic, technical news flash, and it talks about the hesitation in the downshift delay during acceleration. That's in the 150 Prados around 2011, so there is a technical update, and I'll give you the number to claim. The number you need to give to Toyota is TNF 21/10. Okay, right, so that's in other video, so we'll move on to the next one. I just want to have a look. Technical service bulletin, there's one talks about the pistons. Oh, you can't see it anyway. Right, just having a look. Yeah, there's nothing here. Look, I just want to mention, if you're watching and you've got a 1kz engine, you need to replace your glow plugs every 100,000 k's to save your engine there. Just flipping through a few photos. Here's a delay during acceleration document again. Look, that's it, guys. I thought there might have been some interesting photos there, but it was mainly about the pipes. Bada bing, bada boom, that's about fuel pipes. I hope you got something out of that. I hope you understand why now you need to replace the fuel pipes when you replace the injectors. If you do, please give us a thumbs up, bada bing. And if you've been somewhere or anyone's recommending to you, oh no, we can save you money and reuse your fuel pipes, let us know where you're going and who they are, because perhaps this is a place that some people would like to avoid. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, if you think I've earned your subscription, please subscribe, turn the bell on. We've got more awesome information coming your way. And the last little tip is, this is not just 1KDs, okay? Similar injectors, pipes, and everything on most diesel engines, and definitely the Denso stuff and the Toyota stuff, all that sort of thing. So it's all very similar. We might be working on 1KDs, but it's all very similar, if not the same information on all these systems. It's like an engine. An engine's an engine, a few variables, a different engine, but works the same. It's got a piston, it's got a conrod, it's got a crankshaft, blah, 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 right? More or less, as long as it's a, you know, normal combustion engine. You know, a rotary is different, but you get what I mean. All right, guys, we're out of here. See ya. Thanks for watching. Bye.